There's
Yeah.
Jordan.
Hey, can you see me?
I can see you.
All right, great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to
Good,
see
good.
you tonight. Let's
Sure.
move forward. Let's introduce the family. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I'm married to Candace. We're living in Keller, Texas. There's my kids there. Owen, he's 9 years old, and my daughter there, Addie. She's 6 years old. And we moved to Texas maybe about 5 years ago or so. That's us down there on vacation in San Antonio, but we're up here in Keller, Texas now. And just been living and working here in North Texas, working as a real estate agent now. Florida prior to that, and now in Texas for 5 years. And yeah, just excited to be investing in real estate and uh, being part of the Lifestyles Unlimited family. It's been great.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot. You're a real estate professional. Why the
Yes,
heck would you join Lifestyles Unlimited? You're
right.
already in the.
Well, to be honest with you, and I know this isn't just me, but for a lot of agents or real estate brokers, just thinking about the next deal, and the moment you stop selling, you stop earning, and so passive income has been interesting to me for quite some time, but I never really took that leap, took that jump into the investment side of it. And so, really, Lifestyles Unlimited for me was mentorship. I was looking for mentorship, a coach, someone who would guide me through the process, and help me with my first steps and investing in my first real estate deals.
Okay. And do you remember what month and year you joined Lifestyles Unlimited?
Yeah, I joined as a preferred member in April of 2019. So 2 year anniversaries coming up here pretty quickly now.
Okay. Awesome. So you joined for the mentorship and education. Uh, I've also got here additional deal flow, right? Is that another reason why you had joined?
Yeah, I wanted to get a few more things going in the pipeline. I love real estate. I love looking at real estate. I love looking at houses, but I wanted to get some more deals in the pipeline and properties for myself, obviously. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So let's take a look at this one you got right here. We're showcasing one of your many deals in your portfolio, and this
Sure.
one is on Locust Avenue right here in Dallas, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
tell us
So
all about it. How'd you find it? How'd you get connected? How big of a
sure.
rehab? Then we'll take a look at the numbers.
Well, this home didn't really need a whole lot of work, honestly. I actually got this from a wholesaler. So a wholesaler blasted this one out, and it was already actually occupied. It just really needed some cosmetic work to bring it up to snuff. And so I called the wholesaler. I went to the showing. It was me and one other guy. The other guy really didn't seem interested. So I ran my numbers, decided on an ARV, and I made an offer based on what I think it was worth after the fact and the amount of rehab that it needed. And we negotiated a little bit back and forth, but I ended up picking up the property at a pretty decent price. And because the rehab was really minimal, well, yeah, it's a great example. It needed a kitchen update, a new sewer line. We put on a back door, a screen door on the back, and some gutters. And that was pretty much all the work that it needed. I need a little foundation releveling. I think we just like 7 piers just to reshim it. Total rehab was maybe 10, maybe 11,000 total, all in. And yeah, the rehab was super fast. I started the refinance immediately after closing on it because I knew I could get that job done in a couple weeks, and it was super fast.
Awesome. Now I'm looking at pictures of your rehab. Where did you get those ideas from?
Lifestyles Unlimited. you know, well, what we teach or what they
Those
teach,
look like butcher block countertops, right?
Yeah, butcher block countertops. That looks like a Chris Wyatt kitchen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
Uh,
stole it from somebody else.
Subway tile backsplash, and it was real
Yep.
simple. Stainless steel appliances, hardware on there. Yeah, it was really easy.
I so love when one of my mentors steals from me and then he gives to you. It just brings tears to my eyes. Good job, guys.
Awesome. All right, so I mean, if we go back a slide, I mean, you take a look at the front of the house before, you look at the front of the house after. You took out the window unit. You didn't even paint the house. I mean, this was a slam dunk deal.
Yeah.
Super simple. How many times were you there swinging a hammer?
Hey, he added mulch. Come on.
There's a little
Yeah.
red mulch and a couple small flowers. Are those silk flowers or are those real?
They're real.
All right.
Yeah, we did. I was there 0 times actually.
0
In
times.
fact, I've only set foot in that house once, and I was there for maybe about 15, 20 minutes or so, just walking around the inside and then outside looking at exteriors and things like that. So, yeah, really straightforward deal. Probably one of the
Okay.
easiest ones I've done.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the numbers on it.
Sure.
And appraised value 125. You picked it up for 80. Good chunk of equity in there. You got your rehab right around 10,000. Closing cost of 12,000.
Yep.
So net equity of $22,000 on a $13,500 investment.
That's correct. Yeah, we had a pretty good equity capture on this one. What I also liked about this property and still like about this property is that it's fully managed. So, you know, I don't even have to deal with that part of it, although it's somewhat limited. But if there is a call or there is a problem, the tenants go to the management company and they may call me if something's major, but they pretty much handle everything for me. So yeah, it's a really nice passive deal.
Okay. So I just want to repeat this. 13,500 out of pocket, and this deal is where?
It's in Dallas. It's in Dallas. Yeah,
Okay.
amazing actually, because most deals that I look at in DFW proper anyway are, you know, north of that as far as out of pocket costs go. So to find one in Dallas proper for under 20K was awesome. It's really nice to have it right in your backyard, you know.
And just one more question. I mean, there was tons of competition for this, right?
You know, when I went there, no, it was like me and one other guy. So
That's it.
one other guy, he didn't seem interested. I think he wanted to like flip it, and I'm looking for passive income, right? So with the tenants in place, I thought he lost interest, and so I was the only one left. So it worked out nice.
So that guy was scared to make 150% return like you, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And Jordan, I wanted to make sure you know this. What's the technical term if you make over 100% return on the house?
That would pee in your pants exciting, definitely.
Just make sure you knew that because some people forget these things. Very important.
That's right.
All right. Jordan just joined the exclusive No Money Out of Pocket Club. So let's take a look at your entire portfolio here on the next slide.
Sure.
You've got a budding portfolio. You've been doing this for about 18 months. Hold on, Chris. You just explained something that nobody understood that. All the new people said the Zero Out of Pocket Club. So explain what that means just so they know before you get to it, because they're like, wait a second, I just looked at that deal, it's 13 out of pocket. So you don't want to confuse them.
Right. So Jordan has more than just one property, and his most recent acquisition, he went to the table and put no money down to buy that home. I actually was at a closing with Jordan on one of these of the last two. And on his hard money side, he actually got a check back due to a technique that his banker had showed him. We'll save that for another time. But it was a really interesting process that I had never heard or seen of. But, you know, I was impressed.
Yeah, that was West Ford. Yep.
Okay. Well, here's your portfolio. If I remember correctly from our conversations, you got inspired after the first 2 day you went to and went out and started buying, and then said, you know what, I need some more help. And they've just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I went to Dave's 2-day seminar in Irving in Dallas, and he said by the end of the weekend you'll have enough information to go buy a house, and I did, and it was an interesting experience, and that was sort of my like, yeah, I really need some help, some mentorship, and that's when I decided to actually join as a PIG member instead. And
but you bought 3 of these without a mentor, right?
I had 3 properties. Yeah, I had Ash Parkway and 5th Street.
Okay.
And tenants in place, fully managed, did all that. But I felt like there was a hole in my swing. And I needed that coach to come in and, you know, help me understand where I could improve. And yeah, that's again one of the reasons I wanted to get into Lifestyles Unlimited was for the mentorship. Yep.
Yeah, and it accelerates it. I mean, look how much you've done in such a short period of time. It motivates you. Yep.
Totally. Yeah, totally true. And in fact, some stuff that I bought early, I've already sold. They've completed the cycle, you know, and so yeah, so getting into these new deals, it's really exciting. The cash out of pocket is you know, getting smaller and smaller, which is also exciting. And the equity positions are getting better and better. So it's good.
Jordan, can I ask you a question before we go to other questions and thank
Sure.
people and all that stuff? There's 3 rules I teach you investing. Do you know what rule number 3 is?
Oh, hang on. No, remind me.
Rule number 1 is never lose money.
Never lose money. That's right.
Rule number, but you got that. You have your equity in every deal, which is great. Rule number 2 is the cash flow. What do you think rule number 3 is, Jordan?
You can't get rich slow. That's right. Correct. You can't get rich
Jordan,
slow.
even though I love you like a brother, you're following the map perfectly. What advice do you think I'm going to give to Jordan today? You know?
Get in the multifamily.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because single family is not training wheels for multifamily. I mean, for multifamily. And when you got to start moving 200K worth of equity, you're not going to turn 200K into 400K and 800K in single family.
True.
I don't want you owning 100 houses. What do I want you to do? Buy a
Yes.
house. But
Yep.
just think of that in the back of your head. So 6 months from now, when you buy your 50-unit apartment, I'll be so proud of you.
Well, one of my little Post-it note goals there. I don't know if you can see that or not.
There you go.
2021.
Good. Yep.
Yeah. Buy 10 houses, invest in 4 passive, and buy my first multifamily. That's the goal anyway.
There you go. Good. Okay, Chris, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Let's highlight your team. I think that's the next one, and then after that, we'll talk about how it's changed your family and your outlook on life.
Sure.
This is your
Well,
shout out.
yeah, well, obviously, you know, Chris, you've been incredibly helpful to me and my family, and you're always there for me. Thank you so much, Chris Wyatt. You're the best. Hard money lenders, yeah, Johnny Hines and Ryan Hobbs over at Noble Mortgage. I pretty much use them for every deal that I do. My conventional lenders, Andrew Postel, who's been phenomenal. He's actually he's done the majority of my refinances. And he's also an investor himself, so I really like working with him and kicking the numbers around with him. And then Adam Welch, I just started working with him at CMG Financial, just because guaranteed rate will only allow you to do so many refis with them. And then Blake Johnson at Finishing Touches, man, he's great contractor, meets you out the properties, goes over everything, talks to you about the properties, and also can catch some things that you might miss yourself. Insurance, John at CNC does all of my stuff. He's on speed dial for me. He can get me a policy in like 12 hours, super fast, really nice guy, and Johnny on the spot. And then Greenworks, I use them to inspect all the properties. They're very reasonably priced, and they do a, what's that called with the zip level, Chris? It's the
Foundation?
Yeah, they do a foundation zip level when they do the inspections for you, and they do a termite inspection as well. So I really like working with them, and they're really, really fairly priced.
Now, speaking of Dallas Greenworks, you've got some property out of town, right?
That's right. Yeah, I've got 3 properties down in San Antonio, which were Lifestyles Unlimited deals, and Greenworks actually has an office down there, so they've inspected those for me as well.
Okay, and they did a blue tape for you, right? That's a little known service that they provide.
That's right. Yeah. So not only did they inspect the property for me, but after the rehab was completed, I didn't want to drive all the way down there to, you know, stick tape on stuff that needed to be done. So Greenworks actually went back out. I think they charged me like $75, not to inspect, but look for, okay, you know, paint touch up there, or there's, you know, they forgot to seal the grout there, or whatever it was, and do that service for me. And then when my contractor went back in to finish, they took pictures for me and sent it back to make sure it was done properly.
And this is powerful. Folks listening out there from out of state, for example, we have a lot of members like Georgia or California that buy out of state. Just how Jordan handled this. San Antonio, so you guys, if you're not familiar, and Dallas is like 6 hours away. He's not going to be able to drive that. So he literally, you could do a totally third party everything. So we have people from California buying in Texas this same way. I mean, I know it's a Dallas case study tonight, but I want the California people knowing that's how members handle it the same way that Jordan did this one between San Antonio and Dallas as well.
Yep. Good. Thank you. I wanted that little extra touch to be brought in because you don't live in San Antonio.
No.
Dave's right. That's a big round trip, especially professional that's commission based. You can't take that time away. You gotta have that team in place. So let's go on here. How has lifestyles and real estate investing changed your life?
Well, it's given me some light at the end of the tunnel. That's right. It really has. You know, I've always just been in sales and selling real estate, and like I said, the moment I stop selling, I stop earning. And so to be able to build a passive portfolio of rental properties and be involved in some passive deals where I'm getting, quarterly distributions, to have that extra income coming in, it sort of set a path for me to get to a point where the passive income outweighs all the expenses, which to me is retirement, and an early retirement. So I feel like I have that plan now, and the mentorship and coaching and resources there to back me. So it's stress relieving, I don't want to work until I'm 90, and so to have that exit ramp available to me sooner is you get a lot more better night's sleep. Let's put it.
Awesome. Now we've got your goals up next. You just showed us that little sticky note. I had stuck it here in the presentation. I didn't know you were going to pull it out from right in front of you.
Okay.
But tell us about your goals here. I mean, you're already clipping away at 10 houses you wanted to buy. You've already done 3 in January, 3 in 3 weeks.
So yeah, I've got 3 houses. I closed on West Ford, then I've got 2 more under contract, including the 0 out-of-pocket deal. To invest in 4 passive deals, I actually just invested in 1 as a John Bollinger deal. And then to buy my first multifamily, I actually identified a property in Nacogdoches where I actually have some family. So I'm going to start running an MFQA on that and see if it's worth a trip to go see my sister and brother-in-law and check out a piece of property down there. So yeah, no, 2021 is going to be a good year. I'm very optimistic about real estate and the direction that everything's headed. So I think it's going to be a good year.
So Jordan, are you like me, very bullish this year? Don't give a crap about COVID. It's not gonna, you make your own economy. I'm like balls to the wall. Oh, is that bad to say that? I don't know, but I'm never politically correct. I don't care, people, it's the way I am. But I'm really gung ho, and it sounds like you're the same way. What's your feeling?
I'm confident. I mean, things can happen, markets go up and down, but if you're in it for the long haul, which is what passive real estate investing is, I really don't see a downside. Like you said, even in the crash in 2008, things were getting back to normal almost about 2 years later. And if you buy them below fair market value anyway, you've got the equity to protect you. So what's there really to lose? At least that's what I think.
Yep, great. That's why I wanted to hear your opinion as well. So awesome. Yeah. So you take some questions, Jordan?
Sure.
Let the pigeons loose. Who knows what that's a reference to?
No.
You guys are too young. It's okay. Somebody will know.
So I've got some really good questions. The first one is actually in regards to the butcher block counter. So Sean asked, how do butcher block counters compare to granite or other stones in terms of durability? Is there a dollar per square foot that becomes unacceptable in terms of resale?
Do you want me to take that?
Sure.
I have 40 properties throughout the state of Texas. I use butcher block. Just so you know, they use butcher block in $1 million homes. You can go, the reason we love butcher block, there's multiple reasons. First off, the expense. First off, the people that can install it is a regular general contractor. I don't need a specialist that has honing wheels for Granite, which is much more expensive price per square foot. You can even buy Butcher Block right now at Habitat for Humanity. They're about $120. For $120, your guy routers it out, cuts it. If a renter messes it up, guys, you sand it. It's this thick, and you put another coat of polyurethane. It's good for next renter. Simple as that. That's why, and it holds up value. So even $1 million homes has Butcher Block. It's actually it used to be obsolete years ago, but now it came back in style, even $1 million homes, which is cool. So that's why we use Butcher Block. And literally, guys, you can stain it different colors and make it look even prettier. And I'll show you some of mine that are gray and stuff, you know, in my apartments. Great question.
Next question is from Paul, and he said, Jordan, how did you handle the tenants during rehab?
Residents.
I know.
Actually, they were excited. They were excited to have their kitchen upgraded. You know, they had been living there, I think, for a little over 8 months. And the property was a little run down, you know, but not terrible, just need a little bit of work. And when I walked the property, they were actually there. And I told them, you know, if I do this, I'm going to make the kitchen beautiful. I'm going to patch that hole there. I'm going to put in a new back door. You don't need the screen hanging down. So I think they were excited. I think they were hoping that I was going to be the one to buy it. So when I bought it, I mean, we rehabbed our kitchen at our house while we were living here. And so I kind of know what it goes through. It's about, you know, a couple weeks of sawdust and painter's tape. But once it's done, it was beautiful and they're very happy. I think they're happy for it. So yeah, there was no problems, fortunately. Yeah.
Awesome. Next question I have is from Michael, and he said, how did you pick the different vendors in San Antonio when you live 6 hours away? It seems like there'd be a lot of vendors needed.
Sure. So I was actually fortunate enough to get some recommendations from other investors in San Antonio. And then Lifestyles Unlimited puts together a vendors list. So like if you need a plumber in San Antonio, you can actually go to the vendors list on the Lifestyles Unlimited website. And I need a plumber in San Antonio, a general contractor in San Antonio, foundation company. And Lifestyles Unlimited puts together a great list of vendors that are vetted. You can read reviews from other investors on the properties. You can send out 2 or 3 guys to get you 2 or 3 bids, and then you just pick the one that's you know, priced right and the vendor that you like the most. So it was actually pretty easy using the vendor portal, right? Yeah, the vendor portal at Lifestyles.
And what Jordan said is powerful, guys. We want you to do this for yourself. We want you to have great returns, but don't do it by yourself. Jordan formed a team. He realized that when he came to my seminar, he goes, yeah, I can do this on my own, but what are all the what ifs? What are all the mistakes? So he's like, I have my vendors now. I'm so organized. I have mentors. I can call Chris whenever I need a question. Oh, I have to do an eviction. What do? He might never have to do that before. Now I can call up a mentor. So having that team mitigates your risk. And that's why Jordan did it that way. So the same thing with the vendors. He vetted them through the fact that other members led feedbacks from these people.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask this one last question. Rick asked, did you go up on the rent or did they already have a contract?
They already had a contract in place and it was already being professionally managed. So it was basically just a swap. I bought it from that seller. They wanted to get rid of it. And so far they've been great tenants, especially after we've, you know, updated their place. So it's been great.
And when their rent's due again, like when they're end of their contract, how are you going to thank them, Jordan? What are you going to do to them?
Going to bump the rent.
There you go, guys. That's the answer. So you understand it's a business, you know, so, and they will, and folks out there listening, oh my gosh, they're going to pay more rent. They are happy now. Why? Because Jordan took care of them while the previous landlord didn't. He put in new stuff and made them happy. He said how happy they are. So when he raised the $50 or $100, they'll actually be okay with it.
Exactly.